This is a video for our amazing practitioners, and we are exploring the question today, more questions, 3 questions to help your clients build their trust muscle. And we're going to talk a little bit about why trust is so important, why we care so much about this, and why as practitioners, helping our clients to build their own trust muscle is actually, I think, probably the most important thing in people having agency, feeling successful, learning to trust their body and themselves, and kind of getting to a place where they feel more empowered. And I'm going to share a couple examples just from like my own one-on-one clients and people I've been working with too. There are a lot of different questions and tools that Megan and I use to help our clients build their trust muscle. But we just wanted to share a few that you can start using this week, today, as soon as you want to just begin this process. So in terms of trust and building a trust muscle, what have you seen, Megan, with your practice in how that can help people and why that's so important?
I think learning to build the trust muscle, especially for people who are coming in who feel like they've lost trust in their body or they've lost trust in their body's ability to heal, is so vital, because if we're not learning to trust ourselves, we're always and constantly going to be in that place of kind of grasping outward, like, what can I do next? What can I do next? What can I do next? And as you had said earlier, when we were talking about this, that can get expensive for one, because that's where it's like, maybe I should test my organic acids. Maybe I should test for mold. Maybe I should test my stool. Like, all of those big tests cost a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not saying those tests aren't useful. They are in certain cases, but oftentimes, if we can just bring the nervous system into a place of homeostasis, and even being in a place where we can regulate and help our clients regulate, more importantly, the answers start to come in, and there's less of that like reactionary snap and more of an intentional step forward. So what trust does is, I feel like it really helps people take more slower and intentional steps that are ultimately really going to serve them, as opposed to jumping into the next thing and then that thing like snapping and breaking. Like, I think of it as like, if you're crossing a river and you're jumping from like log to log, you want to like intentionally walk across one, as opposed to jumping on like little sticks that just keep breaking, and then you fall back in the water and then you have to pull yourself out.
Yeah, I love it. I was talking with a client of mine today that I've worked with for a very long time, and she is at a place where she's feeling so good. And she's been through like a really, really big, long health journey with chronic illness and Lyme and POTS and all these different things, really, really big. And I was asking her, when was kind of the turning point for her? And when she started to feel like she really started to heal, number one. But then, the other piece of it too was realizing, that she was at a place where she wasn't actually ever going to go back to square one. A lot of people that like have chronic health issues, or a lot of clients that I have worked with, and myself included, kind of have a feeling of like we've lost trust of our body. So you might feel good now, but like you might go back to square one, or and the biggest thing that she shared, and that a lot of my clients share, and I've experienced too, is building this trust muscle with yourself allows it so that no matter where you're at, no matter what you meet, no matter if you have a flare or not, you have the tools and kind of agency and trust within your body to be able to move forward. So cultivating that along your coaching work with clients or counseling work with clients is like so key. And so I'll talk a little bit more about her experience with these things as we go through the questions. But the first question that we identified is, what information do you need in this situation? That can be a really beautiful question. So with one of the things my client was sharing was that when she was able to move from people almost just like feeding her the information of, here's what supplements you need to take, here's what you need to do, here's the diet you need to follow, here's the plan, all of this. When she started to move away from just things being fed to her having agency and choice, she started to heal. It started to be this really big turning point for her. So as the practitioner, to help the client get into that place where they're moving from things just being fed to them to they are choosing and having discernment around things, a really awesome question is, what information do you need in this situation to move forward? And like an example would be if you are asking a client, they're going to be doing a treatment, or like, let's even say starting hormones. I don't know. That just is coming to me. And you ask the client, okay, how do you feel about that? Is that something you want to do? They may say, I actually don't know. Like, I don't have enough information about, I can't really make that informed decision, with myself, but I'm curious about it. Asking, what information do you need? And helping to provide the client with that information, whether that be a podcast or a blog post or explaining something to them so that they can be the one that is able to have that discernment. Is that how you view it, Megan?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a perfect example because it's also asking that question enables them to speak their truth of I need XYZ in order to move forward with this, as opposed to as the practitioner saying, okay, here's what you need. If you're going to start taking hormones, you need to listen to this podcast. You need to start taking this supplement to support your body's detoxification. You need to do whatever. Asking though, what do you feel? I mean, it doesn't mean we don't have our things that we're going to recommend, but it enables us to get more targeted and land the pin with the person who is receiving the information in the way that they actually can receive it and move forward with it.
Yeah. Amazing. And then our second question that we can use too is one that Megan uses all the time, which I love so much, is, do you have capacity for XYZ? Do you have capacity for this? So how do you use that one?
So that one is coming in, say I have a client who comes in, struggling with whatever condition, and they're like, oh, I think you've used the example before of mushrooms. I saw that mushrooms can be really, really helpful for my adrenal fatigue. I'm exhausted all the time. Should I start taking mushrooms? Or another one would be, I've been learning about all these different exercises and strength building. I really want to bring more this new kind of exercise in. Do you have capacity for that? In that tool? Do you have capacity to hold those mushrooms in your system? Do you have even in your brain? And even if I'm making a recommendation to someone of saying, let's integrate in hydrochloric acid to support your stomach, do you feel like you have capacity to do that? And when my favorite is when the person says no, because then they are experiencing what it is to show up for themselves and show, even prove to that inner child part of them that no, we've got, I've got you. I see that might be too much and I'm going to say no right now. And if they say yes, that's great too. But for me, I really love it when people say, no, I don't have capacity for that right now.
And it's surprising how much people do say, or people really know the answer really clearly when you ask that. That's the really cool thing about some of these questions, is that people will know the answer, and as long as you just get into that place of, okay, my goal here is to help this person build their own trust muscle. Yeah, these questions kind of do the work for you.
Yeah. And as coaches, we, and people that are working in healership, we get to see, and this is one of the great things about being in person or even doing things on Zoom, is you can actually read the room pretty clearly when you ask people questions. You can kind of see their is their body language giving you the clear, yeah, I really want to do that? Or are they kind of back up even of let me think about this,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've completely changed an idea or a plan that I've had for someone going into a session. And then I've started to ask some of these questions, and I've realized they have told me and showed me, because I gave them the space for it, no, I don't have capacity for like any of that. And we're like, amazing. And we get to figure out what they do have capacity for. And that starts to not only build their trust muscle, but actually remove some of the things that are just weighing them down and causing all of these, like, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and create a lot of healing. So that is a really good one. The last one that we wanted to share was, what do you know to be true for yourself in this situation? So like, let's say, for example, with the exercise that, you just brought up, if someone is being, has like, should be doing more or wants to be doing more weight bearing exercise, for muscle building, muscle mass and hormones, something Megan and I are thinking about currently, but, bringing that in and them saying, maybe our practitioner prescribed me, this exercise program, or my friend has asked me to do Orange Theory with her several times a week, or, something like that. Using the question, what do you know to be true for yourself in that situation, is so amazing, because people can say, oh, what I know to be true for myself is I actually don't thrive in competitive environments. And I need something that's way more, regulating, like yoga. Actually, I feel really good with yoga. Or the only way to motivate myself is to have a partner. I know that about myself, and then we can start to build from there.
Yeah. And that kind of nails it. Sums it up perfectly.
Yeah. Amazing. So those are, oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's just these three questions really help us to create the map of our people, the map of our clients, so that we are coming at things with curiosity, coming at our clients with nothing but hope to bring out their truth, more so that we can help them, but more so that they can learn to trust their truth and understand their truth on a deeper level.
And I think too, the satisfaction and joy that comes from clients, from people, humans, just being able to solve a problem and move through something with agency on your own, even if it's really hard, is such a beautiful, powerful thing, that if we can facilitate that as practitioners, as opposed to just fix and, give the answers and all of that, it's so much more powerful and so much more transformative. And I've seen people have just really massive transformations and sustainable results too. So that's why we felt really called to share that with you today. So there's many more tools, like I said, that we have in this, many more questions that we use, but these three are ones that we really like. And we also have if you don't already have our 25 coaching questions for transformational sessions, you can download that for free. And we have questions that we use for before a session, during, after, and all of that can help you. So we'll put a link to that in this video, and you can download that for free as well. And we hope this is helpful.
Bye, everyone.